Hi everyone, it's Simmer Hills and welcome to the next episode of Building Newcrest. I can only apologise about my voice. I did lose it earlier this week, so it's just coming back. So if it's a bit croaky, I apologise. It's just this bug that's going round, and it's the second time we've had it now. So anyway, welcome to this episode. I think it fits in really well with the new pack that's coming out. So this one was to build a restaurant, must have 3 floors, 127,753 simoleons. They're like green living and they're afraid of rugs. It's for an adult, 2 young adults, a child, a newborn and a dog. So it's a big family. It's a big kind of build. The budget was pretty decent, but for everything that needed to be in, including a restaurant, it was actually quite a challenge to get to fit everything in that it needed for the budget. Because bearing in mind, you've got like a young couple with an adult living with them. So in my head, what I did with this challenge was, if it's a young couple with a child and a newborn, it could be like the grandparent that's living with them. So that's the route I did with this challenge. And then obviously the restaurant, it just made it quite an expensive build. And I wanted it to have some kind of detail. I thought maybe it could be an old building that's been renovated so that it's a restaurant and a family home. And I also wanted a separate entrance for the family to be able to access their living area without going in the restaurant. So I think with the new pack, the Hobbies and Business and Hobbies pack that's coming out, you'll be able to have separate areas. So you'll be able to have the public areas and then the area just for the owners, which will be it will make more sense. I don't know if it works with every kind of business, because obviously in the new pack there's things like tattooing, and then there's like a pottery type wheel. So I'm hoping it still works with like restaurants and stuff, because I think it would make more sense to be able to have your restaurant downstairs and your family living upstairs. So then you can just go downstairs, run your business, and then go back upstairs. I'm hoping it works that way. I don't know if it will, but that would be brilliant for this kind of build. I was going to use a mod to be able to have the family live in there and run the restaurant, but if you'll be able to do it in the game, it'll be so much better. I think it'll work so much better. So fingers crossed that is the way that it works in the new pack. So onto this specific build, the whole of the downstairs is going to be the restaurant and the public areas. There's going to be like a courtyard out the back. It's not going to be a proper garden. It's going to be like a patio area where they can go out, and that could still be another eating area. And I thought that would be quite a nice way to use the space out the back, because I just thought there's no point having a traditional garden when it's a restaurant. So I went down the route of having like this outdoor seating area. So when it's a nice day, Sims could maybe sit outside and eat the food from the restaurant there. There's also a couple of private dining rooms. I wanted it to be maybe like an exclusive restaurant. So there's like 2 separate dining areas in the restaurant. I've kind of themed them like a yellow room and a green room, and they're behind doors. So if maybe Sims have got a bit more money, they can sit in these private areas, or that's in my mind how I've designed it. I know the game doesn't exactly work like that, but it would be a nice idea. Like if you've got a private function, you hire one of the separate rooms and your Sims can all sit in there, away from like all the other people in the restaurant. And I thought it'd be quite a nice idea to have something like that. And then you've got the main area of the restaurant and also the kitchen. So and also male and female toilets that are off a little corridor. So you have to go through the corridor to get to the toilets, which I thought separates it from the restaurant a little bit. Just doing all the roof details at the moment, but yeah, we'll get onto the restaurant build. But I just thought I'll talk you through what this build will kind of be looking like overall. So yeah, that's the downstairs. The first floor above the restaurant, you've got the main living spaces for the family who own it. So you've got like an entrance hall with a piano, or it will have a piano, and then you're going to have like a big kitchen area a small snug living room and a nursery and a bathroom. And then on the next floor, the top floor, you're going to have the bedrooms, another bathroom, and I think that's it on the top floor. But they do have their own private garden as well, which is a rooftop garden, which I thought was quite a nice feature of this build. And I thought because the downstairs is the restaurant, I thought it'd be nice for them to have a garden that is just for them. So they've got the rooftop space, which it doubles up as a garden for them. So I thought that was quite nice, especially when they've got children. I thought they need that outside space. And I was trying to, like I do normally do quite modernish builds, but I was trying to make this one look I didn't want it to look old-fashioned, but I wanted it to have some kind of features that made it look like the building's been there a while. I wanted it to look a bit more, what's the word for it? Not dated, but that kind of, like it's just not new. So I wanted it to have some features, and that's why it's got like the archways to go into it, because I thought it looks a bit more interesting. It's got some features and it's not just a plain modern build. So I thought it was quite nice to have these extra little features. The windows changed colours a couple of times because I wasn't sure what colours to have the windows. I think I do end up keeping them black in the final look. But then we've got a lot of like beiges and stuff on the walls. So I think it complements it. And then with the roof being darker as well, I think the darker windows complement this building. The archways and stuff are like the sandy coloured stone as well. So I think they go with the walls really well. And also we've got the two-tone on the building. So we've got like the brick on the lower floor, and then like the rendered finish for the upper two floors. So you've got that distinction between the floors as well. Like the brickwork is the restaurant, and then the rendering floors are the where the homeowners live. So I think you've got them definite distinctions between different areas. So these stairs, it was a really difficult where to put them, because as I say, you needed an entrance that was for the accommodation. So yeah, in the end, you can't see it at the minute because I've not got to it, but there ends up being a side entrance into that stairwell, so that the restaurant is completely separate. And if they want to go to the restaurant, they can, but they can also just enter their house without going through the restaurant, because I think you need that. If you're going to live above your business, you still need your own entrance, where if you've got visitors or you just don't want to go in where you work, you can just come into your house. So I thought it was quite important to have two distinct areas and have a separate entrance for the residents. So yeah, we've got that now. So yeah, we've got a mum and a dad living here. I think it's a daughter and then a young infant son. So there's and then the grandma as well, which is the mum of the mum of the mum. Yeah, so it's the mum's mum. And that's who's come to maybe help them out with their kids, or just be maybe it's for costs, or I think it's quite common in some places that grandparents will live with their children. Not in all places, but yeah, it's certainly common in some places. So I thought it was a good way to make the characters work in this challenge, to have like a family dynamic. So we're starting the kitchen decoration, getting the service area where you'll be able to serve the food, so that the waiters will be able to give the food out. We've got a lot of counters, fridge, dishwasher, because I think you do need a dishwasher in an industrial kitchen. I was wondering about adding another counter to try and make it look a little bit more realistic, but for the space in this kitchen, it just wasn't possible. So I thought, in the end, I think I had a dining table as like an extra little area for like food preparation, just to make it as realistic as possible for an industrial kitchen. So obviously you can see where the toilet area is going to be. There's going to be a corridor, and then the rooms at the side of the toilets, they're going to be the private dining areas. So where the windows are at the front and back, they'll be the private dining areas. So yeah, let's get on to introducing you to the family who will live here. So the grandma is called Abigail Miller. She wants a successful lineage. She's family orientated, generous, and a music lover. Her son-in-law is Marcus Belo. He wants to be a master chef, so hence them living at a restaurant. He's a foodie, loyal, and an overachiever, so maybe he's got a good chance of making this restaurant successful. His wife is Gracie Lynn Belo. She's a super parent, or she wants to be a super parent, that's her aspiration. She's family orientated. She's also a foodie, so maybe that's how they've met and come together, because they're both foodies. And she's cheerful, so maybe she could be like work in the restaurant serving people if she's cheerful and a people person. I thought that would work really well in this kind of community lot. Their daughter is called Yasmin Miller Belo, so she's got her mum's original name and her dad's name. She's a social butterfly and she's a good child. Her younger brother is Luciano Miller Belo, and he's a calm baby. So hopefully he won't cause too many problems, and he'll be quite a good little baby for his parents. We've also got the dog Elvis Belo, who is a smart chow chow, just because I think chow chows are really cute. They look like little lions, so I thought that would be a really cute family dog for them. So yeah, the restaurant's kind of coming together. You can see where the seating areas are. We've got a fountain detail, which I think makes the restaurant look a little bit more luxurious, with the flower wall details as well. So it looks like a really expensive restaurant, or I think it does anyway. I think it's quite a nice restaurant area. There's plenty of seating here, so there's never going to be Sims waiting around for a table, because you're never going to get that many people in one lot, I don't think. So there's plenty of seating here, and I think it does look like a really expensive restaurant for Sims to dine at. I thought it'd be nice to have some covered seating at the back, just in case the weather's not great, because we do get plenty of rain here. So yeah, I thought some nice covered seating would look good. Just getting the front details with the stairs, and it was a difficult one with the arches, because I thought you don't want to get that area covered up. It was a bit of a difficult one, because I didn't want the what they call it, like the handrails, to clash with the arches. So that's why the stairs ended up changing, and then it's got a slight discrepancy in colour because of the lighting underneath the arches, because it's classed as a room, so the colours are slightly off. But I just thought, well, I just liked the look of the arches, so it was the lesser of two evils, and I decided to keep it that way because I liked the look of the arches, so we've gone with that. Some nice little flowers on the table. I thought they was a nice little addition to the restaurant. If I'd have had a bigger budget as well, I would have added a couple of extra things, like a candle and a little menu card as well. But money is, when you're doing these challenges, it's like what you would normally add if you had an unlimited budget. You can't always add. And I was very conscious about having enough budget to fill the house up. I mean, already you can see, I think it's down to like 69,000 simoleons. So the budget just goes really quickly, and it was, although it's not the biggest lot that there is, it's quite a big building in the lot. So it did take up a really big part of the budget actually. It was actually, I struggled with the budget on this one, even though it was one of the bigger budgets for the design challenge. So one compromise on this lot is they've not got a very big living room, and it's more of a snug, a little seat. There's only a small seating area with a TV, so it's more like a snug room. But I just think when they're running a restaurant, they're probably not going to use this room very much anyway. This is maybe somewhere they just come at the end of the day, just have a glass of wine, or just an hour to just chill out at the end of the day. So I just think it's probably not the room they're going to use the most anyway. I could have rejigged the layout to have a bigger living room, but I just thought for this family it probably works having that smaller room. They're a busy family. They're probably just not going to have a lot of time to sit in that room, and they've got a huge kitchen because obviously there's two foodie parents. He wants to be a master chef, so he's going to spend a lot of his time building his skills up so that he can become a master chef. So I think they'll use the kitchen a lot more anyway. So yeah, I think for this particular build, it works better having a bigger kitchen and a smaller living room. But a lot of the time, I wouldn't usually design it like that. But I just thought it worked for this particular family. You could see where I put the grandma's room, like the long thin room, that does end up changing, but I'm not sure I get that on film. So what is now the nursery, that ends up moving to where the grandma's room is, which is like the yellow room at the moment, but that changes a lot of times. I was never happy with that room. So yeah, that room does end up changing. The bathroom also becomes a bit bigger. I make the hallway narrower because I think to fit a sink and a toilet in, it was too much of a squeeze. So yeah, it's just the corridor to their parents' room that's become smaller, but I just thought it was worth it to have the extra room in the bathroom, which was really needed anyway. So we're really getting into the adding all the little decorations that's going to make it this family's home. So adding the lighting, clutter, everything that'll make it this sim family's home rather than just a house. And I think all those little extra details are what brings each house to life. Some of the builds in this series I've not been able to clutter them as much as I'd like to. Certainly the one I've just finished, I've had that trouble where the budget's just not allowed. And then I've tried to get rid of some things that I added just to be able to clutter up the house a little bit more, to make it feel a bit more lived in, because I think that's quite important. So some of the more expensive items I've traded for cheaper items just so that I've got that extra bit of budget to clutter the house up. I think the bare brick wall looks quite nice in this one. What I thought with the render, maybe this was the original style of the building that they've stripped it back to, but it's been rendered over, and maybe the brick on the bottom floor has been added like as an extra detail over this type of brick, so it could be like a false brick on the outside. Just to make it make sense in my head, I've got to think like that, because otherwise I'm like, oh, well, that brick doesn't match the brick downstairs. So in my head, I'm like making a story up of how this brick would fit there. So yeah, I think that just explains far too much how my brain overthinks these things. But I think to make the building realistic, you've got to think like that. So it's got to be realistic. I think it looks like more of an industrial kitchen in their family home. But I think with him being a chef, it made sense for him to have that kind of kitchen. He would want a quality kitchen because that's what he does for a living. So the budget's gone more on the kitchen in this one than maybe other rooms. But again, it's where they're going to spend the time. This bathroom on this floor is just a shower room. There wasn't really enough room to have a bath in here. You could have had a bath shower, but it would have been a squeeze. And I thought there's a bath upstairs where they'll be able to bath the children. So I thought it was okay to just have a shower room for this one, because it is narrow And I just think it would have been far too squeezed in if we'd have had a sink, a toilet and a bath shower. I don't know if, I think it probably could be used if you squeezed it up, but it would have just looked too small. We've got the nursery as well. This is the room, because this one they had to have a baby Yoda in the house, so I thought the nursery room would have made the most sense of where to have it. So we do end up managing to fit the baby Yoda in this room. So it's just a nice little challenge, nod to the challenge that we've got that in. And then this is just cluttered up with things like teddies and toys, and just make it look like it's lived in. I thought this room could be somewhere that the grandma spends time with the children, teaching them things. And yeah, I mean the parents as well, but I'm thinking maybe the grandma is like a live-in nanny, maybe. So the nursery is kind of a nice room for her to spend time with the children. So yeah, I don't know why I lost the words then. I was like, what am I trying to say? So yeah, this is the rooftop garden. I really like this area actually, because if you've not got a proper garden, you've got to make the most of the outside space that you have got. So I've put like this fake area of grass on there as well. So they've got like, maybe it's like turf, like the fake artificial grass, but it's just somewhere where the kids can run around with no shoes on. And yeah, they've got a nice little outside space, even though it's on a rooftop, but it looks nice and secure with the wall around it. So yeah, I think that's quite a nice space for the family. There's the little Yoda, so we did get it in there, which I'm really pleased about. And it was just trying to get the colours right for this room. I didn't want it to just be too plain with it being a nursery, so I think the walls may change colour. And also there's a few things added onto the walls in this room which just bring it to life a little bit more. So yeah, please do let me know what you think of this build and what you've thought of this series so far. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been quite different, and I've enjoyed having the challenges of budget and also having like the preset family. So I had to kind of do the challenge around the family that I was given as well. So all these different things mean you come up with different ideas for builds, which is why I did it. I thought it was a way to get back into The Sims, and have some new ideas, and not just stick with the same old format of building just because that's a style that I like. So I thought this was a good way to do some different builds. So I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. If you did like this video or any of the videos, please give them a like. It does help the channel. And subscribe if you do want to see any more, because then you won't miss them. So it'd be really helpful. It'd be really nice. And thank you for the comments that I have on the videos. They've been really nice, really supportive. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I've got another video that I need to edit, which is the next build in this series. That's going to be for a treehouse build. So I'm excited to show you that one. They're all so different, which has made it really nice actually. I've really enjoyed just having to think differently for each build, because like this one's got its own challenges with it being a restaurant and a house. The Wicked build, having such two different characters, bringing them together in that build, that was a challenge. But it was a fun challenge. Yeah, it's not a challenge in a bad way. It's exciting. It makes the game different, and that's the thing I'm enjoying the most about this, is just how different each build will be and has been so far. So yeah, I really hope you're enjoying it, because I've enjoyed making these. And I don't know what's going to come after this series. I don't know whether to do like a let's play or start with the families that are in this town maybe, so you can see how they develop after they've got these builds. Let me know. Or if you want to just see more building videos, that's it. I enjoy building anyway, so that's kind of something I can do, some different build videos. But let me know what you want to see, if you want to see something different, or if you do want to see the families in this. Also, if you do want to download the families, I have added them to the Sims 4 gallery, so you can download the families and the builds. If I've missed any families off, let me know, but I think I've added them all so far. But yeah, if there's any missing that you do want to download, just let me know and I'll add them to the gallery. It's not an issue. So the upstairs garden's pretty much finished. I do add some plants in the little sticky out bits where there's a little wall above the windows, just to add some more detail to them areas. And other than decorating the landscaping, I think it's pretty much how it looks in the final, if you were to download it, it's pretty much how it would look in the one that you download. So as I say, we've got the green and the yellow. It's not that bright yellow, but yeah, we've got the green and the yellow dining rooms, and they're like the private areas of the restaurant, somewhere that your Sims could hire. I think these are a nice little feature and not something you get in every restaurant. So I thought there was quite a nice individual feature for this restaurant. But yeah, I think this one's getting to like nearly being wrapped up. I haven't filmed all the landscaping. I used a lot of debug just because the budget was running out on this one. I don't think I didn't use all debug items, but I did have to use some debug for the landscaping. And I just cluttered it up. I used as much of the budget as I could. I think it was probably below 1,000 simoleons by the time I'd finished. So yeah, the budget was probably about right, actually. I don't think it needed more. But like I say, every time you've got more of a budget, you can just add more individual features that make the build feel a little bit more homely, or feel a bit more individual to that sim who lives there, which I always appreciate those details. I think they're what make the home, as far as I'm concerned. All them little details make the home. So this is where the rooms get switched round. So the nursery becomes like the long thin room, and then the grandma's bedroom is the smaller room. But I think it makes more sense with the double bed having this room, because it fits the bed better than this is actually a bigger room, but it's thin and it's narrow. So I just thought that made more sense for the nursery to be in here, rather than the other way around. So these rooms just get flipped, and a couple more details actually get added to the bedroom in the grandma's room once it's been moved, and I just think it looks really cozy. I really like the look of this room actually when it's finished. I just think it suits this furniture more with the flipped rooms. I think it just looked a little bit squeezed in the other room, whereas it doesn't in here. It seems to fit this room better. So she's still got the like feature wall wallpaper, but it's where the door is, and then she's got like these wooden beams behind the bed, which I just think it makes it feel a little bit more luxurious. And if she's helping them bring up their family, she should have a really nice room to kind of rest in. And yeah, so I think this room is really nice for the grandma who lives here. And it's quite luxurious colours as well, with the deep reds and the leopard print wall. It's definitely unique, I would say, the colours in this room. And then the nursery, I think that's enough space for a child and a toddler. I was going to go with the higher bed with the crib underneath, but I ended up changing my mind on that because I didn't think I thought it made the room look too long and thin. So having the beds opposite each other, I thought it just worked better in this room, I think. It's an awkward shaped room anyway, but I just thought with the two beds it it doesn't look as awkward. So yeah, that kind of rounds up the build. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you like the finished look. If you do want to download it, it's on my gallery, which is just Simmer Hills, and you can use the build in your own game. And you can download the family as well. So I'll see you in the next one where we're building a tree house, and take care everyone, have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.